I feel more than irritation. There is a rush of blame. He should know how unpleasant this is to me. For a moment, I tense, and the accusation, "He is so inconsiderate," hovers at the rim of consciousness. This must be expressed in the set of my mouth and eyes, for he raises his eyebrows. A silent query, tinged with humor and self-defense. "What have I done wrong now?" flickers across his face. Then, after a minute tightening of his lips, he turns down the sound. My annoyance evaporates. I go downstairs to the kitchen and step in as overseer of teenage daughters. There is a pulsing pleasure in the presence of these girls. They are wonderful, I think. But the halo surrounding their familiar faces, bodies, movements, and smell gives way to other responses. They are so careless, so messy, I think, as I look at the kitchen table with its clutter of books and bags, spilled cereal and uncovered jam, and the sticky river of juice encroaching on my papers. Before I articulate a complaint, the 13-year-old puts a bowl in the sink, and my focus shifts. I wonder if she has really eaten anything. Our eyes meet, and I see that she is overwhelmed by some anxiety. "What's up?" I ask. I try to be neutral, knowing how easily she is offended by excessive maternal concern. Her voice is a high-pitched, childlike whine, and she launches into a narrative I cannot follow. But the gist involves conflicting demands of friends and anxiety that one will judge her as a bad friend. I try to minimize her concern over such a negative judgment. "You can't be serious. Who could possibly accuse you of that?" But she counters with her own accusation. "You don't even try to understand." Then her forehead folds like rumpled silk. A whimper is buried in a hug, because she regrets her harsh judgment of me and worries that it may make her look bad. The 16-year-old observes this with faux detachment. "Typical," she declares, hugging her sense of superiority close. As we prepare to leave the house, she is slow to locate her shoes and then asks me to sign a stained and very long document I have never set eyes on before. I tell her she is disorganized and wonder anxiously whether she is also being devious. Is there something untoward about the form that I have no time to read? For a moment, accusations thicken the air, until we exchange the glances of mutual love that each of us experiences as a primitive form of praise. For over 3 decades, I have been fascinated by the human obsession with praise and blame, and the central role it plays in our relationships. This fascination was awakened when, as a junior research assistant, I recorded interactions of infants with their mothers. I spent hours focusing on a newborn's jerky limbs, the spidery play of hands, the searching movements of head and mouth. I would track the mother's gaze and note the responsive tension in her arm, tightening and lifting, easing and lowering as she held the baby. I noted the changing modulation of her voice that seemed to reference her baby even when she chatted to a visiting friend. 3 months on, in the second phase of the study, the infant's probing gaze was full of expectation. There was a need beyond food and warmth, even a need beyond love. It was a need for love that also conveyed, "You are delightful and admirable." An infant's despair at failing to secure admiration was overwhelming. The wails signaled a primitive terror, as though of abandonment and danger, even when the infant remained safe in a parent's arms. The primitive stake in others' approval and disapproval is gradually